Hey guys, it's MMA Vulture coming at you live with Dana White's Contender Series Week 7 recap. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into the first bout of the night, being Alexia Thainara versus Rose Conceic. And in this fight, it was just predominantly Alexia just outstriking and actually out-grappling Rose. Thainara starts very quickly in the first round, coming out with low kicks that actually looked really snappy, really clean, and really quick. She ended up taking Rose down to the ground with ease, where some people thought that Rose could have the grappling advantage. I think that Thainara actually did, and she looked really well. She looked really well on the feet as well. Rose was peppering her with shots in the first round, but really didn't do much. It was a clear Thainara round. In the second round, Thainara cracked Rose early in the round, ended up taking her down, and Rose really wasn't doing much again. She started to mix up her shots better than the first round, mixing in her kicks better. But ultimately, she really didn't do much. It was just constant pressure from Thainara in the first and second round, just walking her down. And towards the end of the second, they started banging it out. But Thainara was the clear winner of that round as well. Her striking looked phenomenal in this fight, in my opinion. It looked great. And then in the third round, Rose comes out strong because she kind of knew that she was down 2 rounds and had to do something to try and win Dana's contract. So she comes out strong, fast. She's throwing wild. She's trying to land that knockout, trying to do something to impress Dana. But overall, Thainara just overwhelmed her, outstriked her, and just picked her apart, honestly. And I think Rose was telegraphing her shots. I think that Alexia Thainara could see everything coming and just was overwhelming and outstriking her, and ultimately looked like the better fighter tonight. And if you guys had Alexia Thainara, I called it out. I thought that she was going to beat Rose, and she did in a dominant 30-27 unanimous decision. And we're going to go ahead and move right along to the next fight, in which was a banger fight in Kevin Vallejos versus Cam Teague. And man, this was a great fight. Kevin Vallejos came out very quickly, and so did Cam Teague, actually. They both came out really quickly, throwing strikes, both landing a flurry of shots. Cam Teague actually looked a little bit better at the start on the feet. He was landing the crisp, cleaner shots in the exchanges. Teague looked really tough, looked durable. But Vallejos' combination started to come together, started to look very clean, quick, and precise. He was mixing up his shots to the head and to the body very, very well on Cam Teague, and ultimately just picked apart Cam Teague to the body and to the head and got the technical knockout. And he looked phenomenal. His hands looked great. He looked clean, quick, and crisp. And Kevin Vallejos was a dog, man. I really enjoyed this fight. And if you guys have Kevin Vallejos, I picked him. Moving right along to the next fight, in which was a boring fight, in my opinion. It was Kevin Christian versus Francesco Mazzeo. And I had Mazzeo in this one, and he actually ended up losing to Christian. Mazzeo started quickly in the first round, landing a couple of nice shots on Christian. Christian looked good with his counter striking and maintaining distance really well. He actually ended up cutting Mazzeo in the first round with a counter strike to the face, and other than that, it was Mazzeo controlling Christian on the ground, landing some ground and pound, and Mazzeo ended the round on top of Kevin Christian, actually. And I would say that was a Mazzeo round for sure. And then moving right along to the second round, you could clearly see that Mazzeo looked slower and looked notably gassed out come the second round. Like he used all of his energy in that first round. So Christian came out, started with his strong forward pressure, was tagging Mazzeo on the feet because of how slow and gassed he looked. And in the middle of the second round, they kind of just stood and stared at each other for a good minute or two, not throwing any strike from either side. It was kind of really weird. It kind of seemed like both of them were gassed out. Both of them really didn't have much in the tank. They kind of wasted it the first round. And then Mazzeo ends up taking Christian down. And as when he takes him down, because he's so gassed, he gives himself up and gives up his arm. And Christian ends up catching that arm and getting the arm bar. And I was just in awe, to be honest. This was just a horror. I didn't think that either of them really deserved the contract, to be honest. I think that they both looked sloppy, both looked horrible, and both aren't UFC material. But Dana ended up giving Christian the contract, and he ended up getting the win via submission. I was on the other side of this, but if you had Kevin Christian, good job. Moving right along to the next fight of Daniel Frunza versus Vadym Kutsyi. And man, I was high on Vadym Kutsyi. I really thought he was going to be able to outstrike and overwhelm Daniel Frunza, but he just looked awful in this fight. Frunza came out, started very strong in the first, actually tagging Kutsyi, looking great on the feet. Kutsyi did end up taking him down to the ground where he had the notable advantage. He was landing some ground and pound. He was maintaining distance pretty well. Eventually got up. Frunza got up, and Kutsyi did knock Frunza down. But again, Frunza looked really good, and Frunza did end up tagging Kutsyi at the last 10 seconds of that first round, actually. And they both just looked pretty they both looked all right. I think Daniel Frunza definitely looked a lot better than Vadym. And then come the second round, Kutsyi looks completely gassed, completely gassed. Frunza comes out with the strong forward pressure, seeing as Vadym was super gassed and just completely looked out of it. So Kutsyi landed some good outside shots to start round 2, but other than that, not much to say. Daniel Frunza pushed the pace, landed a lot of clean, good, crisp shots. Frunza had a lot of success on the feet come that second round, beating a exhausted and completely tired Vadym Kutsyi, and ended up overwhelming him and ground and pounding him into a technical knockout. And Daniel Frunza looked good in it, but Vadym, I was so high on him, but he just looked like complete garbage going into the second round, completely gassed and just didn't maintain his gas tank really well. And Frunza looked great in this fight. If you guys had Frunza, that's good on y'all. I did not think he was going to win, but he looked great on the feet. Moving right along to the main event. And if you guys haven't, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's get back to the main event in Bailey Schoenfelder versus Danylo Voievodkin. And let's just start with the lines. Voievodkin was a 8-1 dog. I know it says plus 600, but he was an 8-1 dog in this fight. And he came out and he looked phenomenal in this fight. Bailey had strong forward pressure, was trying to overwhelm him. But Danylo came out and had the stronger forward pressure, was actually coming forward, landing clean, crisp shots. And right away you could tell that Danylo actually had the striking advantage. And he was landing great high kicks and great kicks. And Voievodkin ends up dropping Bailey in the first round, ends up taking his back as soon as he drops him, and choking him out in what was a crazy, crazy fight. I did not see this coming. I thought Bailey Schoenfelder would beat him. I thought that this was going to go a couple rounds. But dude, Voievodkin came out and he looked insane on the feet. His boxing looked crisp and looked excellent. I'm very excited to see Danylo in the heavyweight rankings. I'm going to definitely be tuning into his next fight. He is a great boxer with great crisp striking, and I'm excited, man. If you guys haven't, don't forget to like and subscribe like I said previously, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!